Welcome to Let's Talk Business. Our guest today is William DeStanislow, Vice President of Operations of Hackensack, Meridian Health, Raritan Bay Medical Center. Welcome, William.
Thanks, Steve.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on at the medical center. First, tell us a little bit about your role at the medical center.
Sure. So I am the site executive for Raritan Bay Medical Center at Old Bridge, and also Vice President of Operations for both the Old Bridge campus and the Perth Amboy campus of Raritan Bay.
Excellent. So let's talk a little bit about, explosive growth that's going on with Hackensack Meridian, the merger that took place with Raritan Bay Medical Center. Tell us how the merger kind of happened, the fit here in Old Bridge, and the benefit. How's it benefiting the community? So.
Well, it's been a huge benefit. First of all, we're really excited because we're able to serve the community in ways we haven't been able to do before. Most importantly, capital. We're undergoing a $40 million new expansion to the emergency room. That's one piece. Another piece is we put in a brand new computer system. We're the first in Hackensack Meridian Health, other than Hackensack, to put in this computer system that allows us to share physician protocols and let us take care of the patient a lot more efficiently.
That would be the Epic system.
Yeah,
correct?
Epic, yep, correct.
All right, so it's exciting to hear what's happening, and that's why we're here today talking about it. So we recently met with you and the president, president of the region here. Tell us about the partnership, furthering the healthcare in our community, that partnership with some of the other entities that we've heard of.
Yeah, so there's a lot of partnerships. Most importantly, to the north and to the south. So we have Jersey Shore University Medical Center, where we're able to provide higher level of care for our pediatrics and the kids of the community. Secondly, JFK. JFK has a lot of services, neurosurgery and rehabilitation that will definitely help our stroke patients. You know, we are a primary stroke center. And having that relationship and that continuum of care with some of our other partners in the community helps the patients in their transition of care.
So we have some kind of connection with Sloan now?
Correct.
And something else with, I guess, the carrier clinics, I think we were talking a little bit about.
Yeah, so the affiliation with Sloan really has helped us in developing new protocols and clinical research and trials that patients may not have had access before. And then Carrier Clinic is a recent acquisition from Hackensack Meridian Health, and that's really with our behavioral health services. As you know, and the mayor has spent a lot of time being a champion for the opioid crisis, and we've been partnering with him as well, because that's one of the community unfortunate needs.
So you mentioned JFK, all right? And the fact that I'm asking it is, we used to have so many medical centers and hospitals in New Jersey. I mean, how many are left?
Yeah, interesting question. So Hackensack Meridian Health is now the largest provider in New Jersey, with over 450 facilities throughout the state, ranging from Bergen County all the way down to Ocean County, New Jersey. There's 16 hospitals, and I think that's what you're alluding to.
Yeah.
That's the largest percentage in the state. We provide care to over 3/4 of the community in New Jersey. So there, in addition, we also have 450 other centers, so physician offices, ambulatory surgery centers, clinics, home care, nursing homes, and the like are also part of that whole continuum of care.
Well, we're lucky enough that we have our medical center right here in Old Bridge.
Absolutely.
So circling back to kind of what you just said, you know, what were the major challenges and the opportunities that the leadership actually saw to seek out and take on Raritan Bay as a facility that they wanted to put into their system?
That's a great question, Steve. And really, Old Bridge, Raritan Bay at Old Bridge is the gem of Raritan Bay, and in the central region of the north and the south for Hackensack Meridian Health. It's strategically located between Route 18 and Route 9, so that access to quality health care is one of the major reasons that relationship began to form, and we're grateful to be a part of that network and the resources and the infrastructure that's really provided us to improve the quality of care. You may have heard we are now rated top 10 by U.S. News and World Report in the state of New Jersey. Hackensack is one of our sister hospitals and obviously is in that top 10, number 2 right now, as well as Jersey Shore and Riverview, but we're honored to have that top 10 designation and top 20 in the metropolitan. So now even being compared to the myriad of hospitals in New York and New Jersey, we're in the top 20
It's exciting.
It's really exciting.
So speaking about exciting, tell us a little bit about the exciting major expansions. I know we met with the president and yourself, with the mayor. Let's go down the list of new expanded areas like the ER, the pharmacy, the entrance to the amenities, even Starbucks.
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, so we did add Starbucks. We're going to actually expand Starbucks. So one of the biggest projects, as you're well aware of, is the $40 million investment in a new emergency room, which will also include a concourse that will connect both the medical arts buildings that are to the east and the west of us, which will allow ease of access for patients to see their physician, come downstairs, get their prescription filled by a retail pharmacy we're looking to open up in one of the buildings as well, and the concourse and enjoy Starbucks, which will be open 24/7 to the public. One of the things we're most proud of is really being patient and family-centered care. What does that mean? That means that we have patients that are on our committees and a part of our infrastructure to help us make key decisions on how they want their health care delivered. That one of the things we've done is become open 24/7. So now you can go visit, if you needed to be, one of your loved ones anytime, day or night, and have a Starbucks downstairs to grab a cup of coffee or something to eat while you're with your loved one.
It's a great tie-in, and I think you talked about a flying bridge or a connection between the two buildings now, so you don't have to go out into the elements and you can traverse between them. So that was a good thing. I think that's coming along.
Yeah, and we also recently invested in a robotic surgery, which again, many people no longer need to travel very far. They can stay right in Old Bridge and have those procedures and really have the best care. I think being top 10 and being part of a prestigious network has also attracted some of the best physicians across the state, and we've been adding them to our privileges to take care of the community, which is a huge piece. People don't want to travel outside of Old Bridge to get their care. We want to make it available right here, very easy, one-stop shop, so they can go and have, like I said, pick up their medications, go downstairs, have an X-ray or an MRI or a CT with the most state-of-the-art equipment available today, and ease of access, and then get back on 918 and go home.
Yeah, just the location alone is absolutely key.
Yeah.
To supporting Old Bridge and the surrounding communities.
Absolutely.
That's a key. It's not just Old, but it's the surrounding communities that have the opportunity to have primary health care right here, all in one place, one-stop shop, like you said. Jocelyn Diabetes Center is in there. We had we toured that facility. It's absolutely amazing. You have, tell us a little bit about the expansion of the ER, what the plans are. Because that's something that's key, and we'll get to another point in a little bit.
So we are literally tripling the size of our emergency room, installing some of the most state-of-the-art technology and finishes that the patient really needs. For example, we're installing electronic whiteboards. So when you go, if you were a patient, you would see a picture of your physician, a picture of your nurse, a picture of your the tech taking care of you, so you would know who is taking care of you. We see over 25,000 visits in the emergency room, and it's really critical that we design the room for healing. And what we're doing is no longer are there curtains in the room. They're going to be walled rooms and tripling the size. Probably one of the most exciting pieces of this will be a 4-bedded crisis center. So behavioral health patients will be able to be treated at our facility and no longer going to, let's say, Perth Amboy or another facility. They'll be able to receive those behavioral health services right here for all those surrounding communities. As you know, that need has grown tremendously, and now we're going to be able to treat that population.
Most definitely, and I know we were talking to the mayor and your president at that time, and yeah, it's key. Needed, even the care with the opioid addiction. They'll have a special area they'll be in that they can get the right care they need at that particular time and follow through with it. So most definitely. So what are the phases that you guys are going to start to implement this so that people will see maybe a facade change or something going on? At least they know that it's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're strategically focusing on 5 phases. The first phase will really be, as you said, the concourse and the frontal piece of the whole hospital and campus. So that concourse will be partially built out. We're hoping, if all goes well and the plans are approved, to start that construction sometime in the first quarter of next year. We will continue to operate an emergency room. It will stay open, full capacity. Where it's located now, we're actually starting the construction on the other side of the first floor of the hospital in 5 phases. And the last phase will hit, which will be about 1.5 to 2 years in, will be where we're currently taking care of patients. But after phase 2, when we install the new radiology department that'll service the emergency room, we'll actually we'll be able to open up some of those new rooms. And so patients will get to experience the new emergency room as we're moving through that process. The other exciting part is we're changing the whole front of the campus, so the parking and the layout will change.
That's what I saw.
And as you've seen, we've really improved the aesthetics of the landscaping and some of the campus. Some of the signage will change as well as part of the renovations that is happening.
Excellent. This is good. No more going around the back to the emergency room. You pull up to the front.
Absolutely.
That's a great point. So we're just going to take a break here, and we'll be back with William DeStanislao, Vice President of Operations, in just a couple of minutes.
I'm a single mother, and I was the main one working, so I never thought that I could go back to school, you know? My sister, my mother, everybody wanted to help me with my kids. I could not have gotten my diploma without my family.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Donate stuff, create jobs.
All right, ladies, we're back. So tell us a little, the commitment that's been made to the Old Bridge facility. Tell us a little bit about the demographics and in the area, where you look to draw the patients from. I know I touched upon it a little bit before, surrounding areas, but you know, what's the key? Where are we going to draw from to bring them into Old Bridge? And my next question will lead into that. So again,
Well, I'll say all New Jersey
There you
to
go.
make it a destination.
That's it.
And to become well known as top 10 and maybe top 1 someday. But really, from the community, healthcare is local. So the primary service area and the secondary area is usually 5 to 10 miles most patients will travel. Marlboro, Manalapan, without naming all the towns, but we really would like to expand outside of our current catchment area, which is Old Bridge and some of the smaller areas, by attracting those physicians and providing different services that we no longer have had before. Will make us a destination hospital and a hospital of choice.
So with that destination, getting the people, getting the residents from the surrounding communities, how do you attract the doctors? How do you get the top physicians? I know I would think because you're in that top 10, top 20, the doctors are attracted. What other methods of marketing are you looking at to get those doctors to the facility?
And I think as we begin to work out some of the details with the top 10, but in addition, being part of a bigger network, Hackensack Meridian Health, allows us resources and technologies that we may have not had before. So we recently invested, as you know, in a state-of-the-art robot. But doing those kinds of things and then giving the physicians the best nursing and ancillary staff as well. So we're a magnet hospital. We've been a magnet hospital, nursing hospital, which really does allow us to attract some of the best physicians around the state. In addition, opening up the Hackensack Meridian Health School of Medicine with partnership with Seton Hall. So that, I think, too, beginning to expand residency programs to some of the other hospitals. Raritan Bay Medical Center at Perth Amboy has a residency program, as you know. But I think beginning to take those physicians who are new in their career and grow them and really bring them back home and to our hospital.
Right, so I think we pretty much touched on a lot of it. So in the realm of the educating the community, the marketing strategy, is there a marketing strategy that they kind of have, that they're going out there and looking to familiarize the residents of what's, I mean, of course we have this show, but how do we get that word out there to the community, whether it's print media, or advertisement, TV, and to broadcast, this is the place now for quality care, and it's not a bump and bruise hospital anymore.
No.
So getting past that, what's that marketing plan to say, hey, you know what, we are here, we're top 10, top 20. What's the marketing plan that you
Well, this show is obviously,
go.
I think,
Well,
is
it's
very
one of them.
helpful to
That's
get the
right.
word out. I think you nailed it right on the head. I think the challenge is educating the community on what services we do have first and foremost, because many people don't realize all the services we have, the full continuum of care, and the access and ease of access to some of the other hospitals to get that as well. There's a lot of initiatives. There's television, as you've probably seen some of the Hackensack Meridian Health commercials, social media, and print. And thank you for allowing us to advertise in some of the town's forums as well, and being part of those resources. But I think that is the biggest challenge, is changing the perception and gaining the trust of the community, and offering those new services and having physicians, some of the best physicians in the country, come and practice at our organization.
And you're most definitely on the track. I mean, just going through the facility with the Jocelyn Diabetes Center, even hair treatment practitioners that are in there, the emergency rooms that we saw, the operating rooms were even key. And I was there prior to the robotic surgery now, and that's key. So, you know, allowing our community to understand what's, you know, we just drive by it and see a building and say that's a bump and bruise place. But, you know, take a peek in the window or go inside the facility, and you can see the changes that are happening and the changes that you guys are going to do. You know, a facade change is a facade change. You can do that at any time. But what's behind that is really what's taking place, and you've really outlined to our residents in the community what's happening, and it's exciting. I mean, so one thing I got to get clear is, what is the full name now of the facility, so everybody knows? Say, well, I'm not going to go, it's Raritan Bay Medical, it's Meta. What is the actual name that we call it now, that we know, that tells somebody, if you need to get there, or you just have to go there for a procedure or just a checkup, what's the name?
Well, it's Hackensack Meridian Health, Raritan Bay Medical Center at Old Bridge.
All right, so
Or Raritan Bay Medical Center at Old Bridge is probably a little easier.
yeah, but we all know now it's connected with Hackensack Meridian Network and the system. So,
And I think some of the biggest connections we're trying to make, as you mentioned, is really connecting with the community, bringing them on board, helping us make decisions. They're the people receiving the care. One of the things we did recently was bringing in women for our women's center and mammography studies, allowing them to choose which robe they would like to wear. Something as simple of letting a woman decide which robe or which type of gown she would wear versus you and I making that decision. Simple as that. Listening and hearing from the feedback from the community, including them on their boards. Even for this new design of the emergency room, we have a committee that is actually based all community members that are helping us pick what type of bed would they like to lay on if they were a patient or a stretcher in the emergency room. How much lighting, how much sound, privacy, because they're really going to help us change that perception, as you mentioned, and make us better.
It comes down to really the customer experience. No matter what, if you're in
Absolutely.
there ailing bad or you're just in there just because you cut your finger, it's customer experience that you want to get past and make them have a pleasurable experience. And I know you invited us to be on that committee, and
Yes.
we're honored to be on that committee. And from just saying that there was, when you go in with your loved one into an exam room or emergency room, that there's somewhere you can put your belongings and lock them up, because when you move to the room, where's the belongings? And how is that following us? Instead of pouring it on top of the patient and
then have it go somewhere else.
have it go somewhere else. But not that that happens, but I totally understand that.
And so allowing us for that relationship with the community to engineer those things as best we can really
It's key.
helps. Really helps us, and it helps the caregivers deliver more empathetic and compassionate care to the patients.
From a resident standpoint, being a resident in town and even no matter where you are, what facility, if you feel and they're caring for you, caring in the sense of compassion, of feeling that's the key.
Yeah.
When you unfortunately have to
At
roll
these,
into the
yes.
ER or anywhere else in the facility, but that's a great thing. So again, I want to thank you for coming on the show, sharing what's going on at the facility, the major expansion, the commitment that you and your staff and your team and your president are making to Old Bridge. It's really key of allowing us to feel that we have a facility here that is top notch. That's what we're looking for.
Oh, thank you, Steve. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to share a little bit about what we do to your community and be a partner with you and the town to do better. So thank you for
Most
this.
definitely.
Appreciate it.
Glad to have you here. William DeStanislaw, Vice President of Operations at Hackensack, Meridian, Raritan Bay, Old Bridge.
Yes.
So,
Old Bridge Medical Center,
Bridge Medical
Raritan Bay.
all we know is take me there. That's the place to go now. They
Thank
got
you,
good
Steve.
care there. So we also want to mention that we'll be expanding, OBTV is expanding a show where we'll be bringing on doctors through the community to talk about other issues that are key to our community. So it'll be an ongoing program that OBTV will be running regularly. So we want to invite you to come back, constantly check OBTV for our shows. This show will also be on YouTube, so check the YouTube channel for Old Bridge. Just go on our Old Bridge website, click on the YouTube icon, and then you'll click on videos, and you can see all the videos from the town, our Let's Talk Business videos, our township videos, and so on. So I want to thank you, residents, for tuning in, and thank you. I'm Steve Mamakis, Economic Development Officer for the Mayor's Office of Economic Development. There you go. All right.
That's
Thank
a
you.
mouthful, too.
That's a mouthful, too. So, again, perfect. Thank you, William.
Thank you, Steve.
The continued spread of worldwide hunger and the cost of food are expected to increase in the coming years. Researchers are working hard to find ways to increase crop yields. A National Science Foundation-funded team of scientists at Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory has found a way to harness Mother Nature. They discovered a set of gene variations that can boost fruit production in the tomato plant by as much as 100%. Team leader Zachary Lippman says this genetic toolkit will enable plant breeders to combine different gene variants among the set by customizing and creating the perfect plant structure for particular varieties and growing conditions. By fine-tuning the balance between florigen and anti-florigen, hormones that control vegetative growth and flowering in tomatoes, breeders will have a powerful new toolkit for achieving previously unattainable increases in plant production. Today, approximately 10 million children have difficulties learning to read. Researchers from Carnegie Mellon University are hoping their new computer model will help someday. The team has identified what different regions of the brain are doing when people read. They performed functional magnetic resonance imaging scans of 8 people as they read. Studying the scan cubic millimeter by cubic millimeter over a full chapter of reading resulted in the first integrated computational model of reading. The model identified which parts of the brain are responsible for analyzing sentences, determining the meaning of words, and understanding the relationships between characters. Exactly how the brain creates this neural encoding is still a mystery, the team says, but the model is the beginning of understanding what the brain is doing when a person reads. While it still needs fine-tuning, the team thinks the model might someday be useful in studying and diagnosing reading disorders such as dyslexia, or to track the recovery of patients whose speech was impaired by a stroke. More than 1.6 million people in the U.S. have some type of limb loss issue. While powered lower limb prosthetics hold promise for improving the mobility of amputees, errors in the technology may also cause some users to stumble and fall. National Science Foundation-funded researchers at North Carolina State University are working to find ways to make more reliable prosthesis. The team is developing technology that translates electrical signals in human muscles into user intent that further controls powered prosthetic limbs, such as decoding muscle signals to tell a prosthetic leg that it needs to walk forward or step up onto a staircase. The team had study subjects use a customized prosthetic device that was programmed to make decoding errors and monitored their movement in the lab. They found that while some unnoticeable errors occurred, the critical errors were characterized by large mechanical work change, meaning the prosthetic limb thought it had to do significantly more or less work than the user intended. The result was an unstable prosthesis that caused the user to lose their balance or fall. The team hopes to find ways to limit the mechanical work change, making the prosthetics more efficient, reliable, and safe to use. In 2012, Costa Rica was pummeled by a 7.6 magnitude earthquake, one of the strongest ever to hit the Central American nation. Without enough advance warning, natural disasters like this can be devastating. A National Science Foundation-funded international team of scientists led by the University of South Florida has found a way to help better forecast the size of future disasters like this. The team found that subtle shifts in the Earth's offshore plates can be a harbinger of the size of earthquakes or tsunamis. The geological phenomenon called slow slip events, identified just 15 years ago, is a useful tool in spotting the precursors for major earthquakes and resulting tsunamis. Slow slip events are caused by motion on faults, but unlike earthquakes, they release their energy slowly over weeks or months. These events can't be felt or even recorded by conventional seismographs. USF geologist Tim Dixon and his team used high-precision GPS to measure slight shifts on a fault line in Costa Rica. The GPS recorded numerous slow slip events in the decade leading up to the 2012 earthquake. The team says these slow slip events may have released much of the stress and strain that would normally occur, resulting only in a small tsunami following the quake. The team believes that better monitoring of these small events can lead to better understanding of maximum size and risk associated with future earthquakes and tsunamis. For more information about these stories, visit us at nsf.gov. This is NSF Science Now. I'm Dina Headley.